Namaste to all. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good early morning for the people. And people who are living in Bangkok, it's a good evening for them. And people who are joining from Australia and other places, good morning, good evening. So, we are excited to have this Zoom meeting on the medical astrology, Vedic medical astrology. This is not a regular medical astrology, it's a Vedic medical astrology. So, before starting of the session, I would like to recite Saraswati chanting. Saraswati is a goddess of education, knowledge, and power. Om Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Manasa. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Great. So today we have a special lecture on the Vedic medical astrology, and particularly we are going to discuss about the insomnia and sleeplessness. What planets are influencing on the person? How Ayurvedically, medical astrology can affect on things. We'll also aspects of some Ayurvedic perspective also we can look into that. So the planets influencing on the health and wellness, and particularly in the insomnia condition, sleeplessness. And as we see, more and more people are suffering with the insomnia, which is Ayurveda called as a nidra. Nidra is a very, very important. This is one of the three pillars of the life. So among three pillars, the self-discipline, the diet, and the sleep. So brahmacharya, ahara, and nidra. So brahmacharya we are calling as a self-discipline. So now welcome our teacher and guru and preceptor as facilitator, Dr. Om from Bangkok, Thailand. Welcome.
Namaste. Yeah, greetings of the day to everyone who is here. I'm sure they're from different parts of the world. As Dr. Shekhar rightly addressed, there is multiple ways we should greet. So basically, um, yeah, as I would say, just a very warm welcome to all of you, and grateful that you have joined in and spared your valuable time. And my intent for this evening would be to address the basic concepts of medical astrology, and also touch base on the very important aspect of our life, that is sleep. And how important is the sleep? It's something to be really thought upon, and also be given due consideration in our daily routine, so that this can really help repair our damage that happens all during the works of the hectic day schedule that we go through. So just a very brief introduction of myself. My name is Dr. Om. I'm a naturopath, and I am a bachelor's in naturopathy and yogic sciences. I have been giving consultation to people based on the combination of principles of naturopathy, Ayurveda, and medical astrology. So my whole modality is focused on natural means or natural ways of dealing with the chronic health issues. And why I chose that is because basically we have got some very gifted helps from the nature, which we are actually got drifted quite widely from the times that we have had issues and we want to quick fix them. And in the end, what we have got is mainly only the symptomatic reliefs and not been able to really get to the root cause of the issue. So that was one of the key inspirations that kept me working on this modality of healing and the healthcare. Well, originally, I have been an engineer earlier, and I have also been working extensively in the field of engineering. But it always kept me very much focused and attracted towards the medicine or the healing side of things, and that kept me very close to learning and also associating with the studies or researches related to medicine and the modalities of natural healing. Eventually, I took up a graduate degree in as a bachelor's of naturopathy and yogic sciences, and now I'm a practicing doctor or healthcare provider for based on naturopathy and with a combination of Ayurveda and medical astrology that I frame my treatment modality. Now, why medical astrology? Because the thing is that we, as long as we are on this earth, we are influenced by the energy of the planets that are there in this universe. We ourselves are energy beings, and so are the planets actually, and they are huge energies. Now, whether we understand the depth or whether we appreciate these energies in our daily life or not, that's a different thing. But we are 24/7 under the influence of these energies, and they impact us on every level, be it our physical, mental, emotional, all our five bodies are impacted by these energies. And the better we understand these energies, the better we can actually manage our own life. So that is one of the key drivers that we need to understand through medical astrology. We can get to have better insights on how these energies work and how we can understand our own body, our own physiology in a better way so as to be in a better control of health aspects and also the other issues. So through medical astrology, it is possible to really get a very deep insight of what is going in our body. If we are behaving in a certain way, why are we behaving like that? Or if we are made, we actually, how it starts, it basically starts with the footprint of our it's a snapshot of our horoscope, which is basically the picture of the placement of the planets at the time of our birth. And this impacts the whole personality of ours, and also the certain combinations that are present in the chart, they have a prevailing impact on our entire life. Now, how and when the impacts are are visible or impact are shown in our life depends on certain periods or transits or the dashas, which we call in the yogic terms, but they do have an impact. So we have to start from understanding our horoscope, and then from there on, we can understand what is our physiology and what is our our own personality, and how should we be able to deal with the situations. The whole concept of understanding the horoscope is not to be intimidated, not to be fearful about what is there in our horoscope, but it's basically just to be taken as an opportunity to understand our own self in a better way, so that we can be able to balance out things. We have to be able to balance these energies so as to be able to get things under control. So that is how I would briefly explain the importance of medical astrology. And earlier, in earlier times, it used to be a subject of studies since from the schooling stage, but nowadays it is now more towards the modern subjects that we are learning, and we have sort of lost the concept or the sight about how these planetary energies also impact our day-to-day life, and how we should, without being really overwhelmed about issues, we just need to be more familiar and more in line, in control of what the day-to-day changes are, and so as to ensure a good, healthy life on a long term, which is what is the main objective, because we want to ensure good health in a long term so that we can have a really quality life. Now, having just given a brief introduction about what the whole concept of medical astrology is and what our consultations are based upon, I will just try to go through our presentation. I have a brief presentation, and we will discuss on the various impacts, various parts of the topic. Let me, where is it? Is my screen visible?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So,
You can make it full screen.
yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, so we call it the science of medical astrology because it's actually a science. It's not something like some sort of superstition or the way it is perceived by many people that it is some blind faith. No, it is not. So we should be more open to understand these energies basically, and then we will be able to appreciate that it's highly logical, very relatable, and also very, very scientific. Well, just to have a brief introduction of my own self, as I already have given an idea about, I'm a naturopath, bachelor's in naturopathy and yogic sciences, and very, very keen, or I've been practicing also and giving consultations based on the modalities of naturopathy, Ayurveda, and medical astrology. And I've been practicing extensively in these fields. And before that, I have also had a formal education in the field of engineering. I did most of my education from India and from Thailand, and also from the UK, that I advanced my master's in business administration. So I have had the opportunity to get exposure with different cultures, different languages, and been fortunate to know many languages since early age. That gave me an opportunity to also read and learn a lot of scriptures. And I was very highly drawn by nature. And so that is why basically I chose to get my formal education in medicine in the field of naturopathy, because I strongly believe and want people also to be understanding how nature can heal, and why we should be more appreciative of this gift of God that is there. And we have to just uh, be a little patient, because these things, they work slow, but they really work to the root cause of the issues. So that is important. And with so now let's quickly go over the topic. What is medical astrology? So medical astrology is, as in astrology is itself is the study based on the position of the celestial bodies or the planets at the time of birth, that influence the overall life and of an individual, while medical astrology is a field that primarily focuses on the health of the individual. Now, we are now living in a world where basically everything is so intricately um, glued together that any aspect of our life, if it is hindered or if it is not in control, it ultimately impacts our health. So that's why it's basically that there are the whole of astrological studies get relevant somehow when we try to understand the health issue. And that's primarily what we're going to talk about um, sometime down the line. That is about sleep. So sleep itself is not actually a health condition, but why it is now becoming such an important issue to talk about is what we will address in this discussion a short while from now. So um, yeah, basically, this is medical astrology, which is the field of astrology that addresses or focuses on the health aspects of the individual, and it studies the position of the planets and the other celestial bodies at the time of individual's birth. So basically, the astrological chart, or as in the horoscope that I was mentioning a while ago, it has 12 houses, 12 zodiac signs, and 9 planets. Now, we're talking of Vedic astrology, and there we consider Sun, Moon, then comes Mars, Mercury, Jupiter, Venus, Saturn, Rahu, and Ketu, being the total 9 planets that are put into consideration, and it is these energies that are considered. So, and each of these energies and the placement of the planets in each of these zodiac signs or houses, it
It
impacts
impacts
the health of the individual, be it the mental, physical, emotional, and all these aspects of individual's health. And analyzing the birth chart, it helps to give the insights on the individual's health, giving some indications, or even helping with timely predictions of what health issues the individual may go through. And if we have, say, sort of a prior idea about the possibilities of certain health problems, then proper remedial actions can be taken in time in terms of lifestyle changes, food habits, and all these other natural ways of controlling things, and that can rectify the problem to a great extent, and also even help to avert it or avoid it completely. So that's the advantage of medical astrology. It can be like a preventive tool in your hand. Now, each of these zodiac signs in our horoscope, it interestingly specifies the body parts of as in the physical body. For example, Aries, the zodiac sign Aries, it signifies our head and face. Taurus is our throat and neck. That's what we can see the issues related to these physical parts of the body through these zodiac signs. Likewise, Gemini, it signifies our arms and shoulders and lungs, etc. And Cancer signifies the chest area and also the breast or the stomach, the upper abdomen area, what we say. Leo also shows heart and liver and the upper back. Virgo shows the pancreas, the spleen, or the abdomen area. And Libra, on the other hand, it shows the kidney and the lower back, the lower abdominal area. Scorpio shows the urinary bladder and the reproductive organs. Sagittarius shows our hips and thighs. Capricorn shows the knees and the bones and the joints around that area. Aquarius shows the calves and ankles. And Pisces signifies the feet and our lymphatic system. Now, each of these houses also, interestingly, also signify certain physical parts of the body. So, for example, the first house itself also shows the head, the face, and the brain. Basically, is what we see from the first house of the chart. While Taurus, the second house, shows neck, tonsils, throats, larynx, etc. And Gemini, the third house, shows shoulders, lungs, arms, and also the fingers. So next is Cancer. The fourth house shows the chest, stomach, diaphragm, breast, thoracic ducts, and the lymph attached to that. So next is the fifth house. The Leo shows solar plexus, the heart, and the spinal portion of the upper area. And Virgo, the sixth house, shows the large and the small intestine and pancreas. Seventh house, pelvic, it shows the pelvic area, the kidneys, and the other portions of the lower back or the lower abdomen. And eighth house, or Scorpio, again shows the reproductive organs and also the rectum and the anus, the excretory organs in the body. The Sagittarius, or the ninth house, shows again the hips and thighs. And Capricorn, the 10th house, shows knees, teeth. It also shows the bone and the other joints around that area. Aquarius, the 11th house, shows lower legs, the calves, and also the ankles. And Pisces shows the feet, toes, and also the lymphatic system, as we talked about, also seen from the 12th house. Now, when we talk about looking into the health aspects of an individual, there are a few very critical, although it is important to read the chart or the horoscope in totality, but there are some very significant houses that we have to take the instance first, which is the first house, the sixth house, the eighth house, and the 12th house from the ascendant or the moon, as what we say. So the first house, which is also called the ascendant, it signifies the overall health, the overall personality of the individual. It also shows like how healthy or how fit is the person in terms of the general health. And the first house is also called the ascendant. So that is basically the rising zodiac with which or during which the individual is born. So that is when we say, for example, if the person is an Aries rising, means that his first house is showing the zodiac sign as Aries when he was born. Now, the sixth house is the house of diseases or disturbances or worries or burdens or illnesses or injuries. Interestingly, now this is also the house of discipline and daily routine. Now, you see, this is how intricately and logically the whole chart is linked. If, for example, we say that sixth house is the house of diseases, that is where basically we say that the commencement of the disease happens from the sixth house, but at the same time, it is also the house of daily routine and discipline. So that's indirectly showing or telling us that if we were in discipline or if we were following a proper daily routine, then obviously we will not end up having diseases. So that is how it balances. So that's what I was just referring to understand the chart is only basically an opportunity to know how you should be balancing your life so that you can be able to have a healthy life ahead. The sixth house we talked about already, and then comes the eighth house. Now, eighth house is the house of chronic diseases. Now, the diseases that take a longer time to heal or get fixed, or sometimes some people they have to live with them all through their lives. So these are basically, yes, the indicators that give some ideas about, yeah, what are the possible health issues that may trigger if we do not let things to be under control at the right time. Then we are definitely inviting those chronic problems in our lives. So that is basically a signal that we should not get our sight off. And 12th house is basically the house of hospitalization, of hidden diseases, which is, and it's also the house of isolation, or also the house of even self-realization, what we see from that, and also meditation. So this is how you see things balance. That if we were having, say, meditation as a part of our daily practice or daily routine, we would probably not end up being in the hospital down the line. So this is how one should try to understand and read one's chart. Okay, well, now talking about planet, the health issues, and what we see from the chart is like an indication of certain promises that tell us that there are likelihoods of these possibilities, these combinations, certain planetary combinations of, say, certain malefics. Now, malefics are considered to be the planets which are tough, which are difficult, which give us problems, or apparently give us the problems, but basically it is those planets are not like they don't give away things to us so easily. Now I'm referring to the planets like Saturn, Mars, Rahu, and Ketu. They are considered as malefics, or the bad guys or the bad planets in our horoscope, and mostly people are intimidated by narrating stories about what harms they can bring to our lives. But it is important to understand that these planets are there to actually um, act like strict taskmasters, and they are there to actually give us lessons and learnings in our life. And if we take that in the right spirit, that would really help us to be in better shape in the long run. So that is how we should perceive the lessons or difficulties that so-called we receive by the impact of these planets. And as I said, there's certain combinations. We will discuss about those combinations in our presentation down the line. But the association of these malefics, or they have certain problems in our health, that is there for sure. But if just at the first sight of our chart and we see these combinations, does not necessarily mean that we are going to be suffering from those issues all our lives, or we will have to go through those difficulties for sure. As I said, just by the proper understanding and knowledge and the time around which these combinations will have more active or more dominating role to play in our life is something we can understand from what we call the planetary periods, like the Mahadasha or the Antardasha, as in Sanskrit, what we use in Vedic astrology, and also the transits of certain planets. So when we can discuss about it actually in more details in our classes during the course. But for now, I think I will need to cut it short and explain you a little bit on the high level to just get the concepts first on how these malefics work. So now, how we perceive healthcare through medical astrology, I think I already discussed that reasonably during all our discussions so far, that basically uh, medical astrology helps to provide a personalized health guidance to the individual through the analysis of his or her birth chart, and helps to provide the ideas about the the health risks that the individual may be subject to, and based on which uh, the proper management or the remedial or mitigation measures can be taken in time. And obviously, there are remedies that can potentially work from the grassroots level, and of course also are pure natural ways like in Ayurveda or naturopathy, or even spirituality can be a big boon if it is adopted and practiced religiously. And it can help to fix so many health issues, and obviously backed by the lifestyle changes or adjustments, and in terms of food habits and how we carry our daily routine. So these are all the important things that we can get to understand when we go through, when we have a better understanding of the horoscope of our own. Now, sometimes the question comes that why medical astrology? As I've already been discussing about, it's basically a very useful preventive and holistic approach that can help to maintain good health. And the earlier we know, the better it is. So that we can be in better control of things to mitigate the potential risks that are possible in our health trajectory down the line, and we can manage and maintain a good quality life in the long run. That is the main objective of medical astrology. And it can help to do the root cause analysis instead of just fixing the symptoms which are there on the surface, which unfortunately is the the modality adopted by the modern medicine. It does not really address the root cause issues, and that's why the problems keep creeping up as and when, and then we still don't get a long-term solution to things. And understanding the planetary influences, of course, as I mentioned, now these are the energies that we need to familiarize ourselves with, And based on the understanding of how each of these planetary energies impact us, we can be able to balance our approach. We have to be basically learning how to balance these energies in our lives so that we are not impacted adversely. And as mentioned earlier, it can help to provide personalized health guidance. So based on, as in every individual is different, there is no set rules or recommendations for that are possible, like off the shelf. It's quite unlike what, again, the modern medicine approach is, that you have one medicine for one health issue, and that is possible to be curing every individual. That is actually not the case. And that's why you have certain issues like allergies and reactions and side effects and whatnot. But here, with this personalized health guidance, what we mean is to understand every individual on the grassroots level of their body constitution. And I'm referring to the Ayurvedic concept of analysis, which is the Vata, Pitta, and Kapha, that the individual, what his or hers body type is, and what can be the recommended dietary changes or exercises or daily routines that can be prescribed to the individual, that can really work on the grassroots level to fix the issue in the long run. So how is medical astrology linked to naturopathy? I think I've already discussed that quite clearly so far. It's naturopathy and Ayurveda. It's basically, they are the sister modalities, or they are basically the things that go hand in hand. And we have to be also using both the modalities in a way to get the best combination out for an individual's health issues and get the solution. Now, medical astrology, in my opinion, is the pathway to empowerment. Now, why I call it as an empowerment is because astrology is knowingness. It is not a blind faith. It is not an old school thought. It is not a superstition. It is all about knowingness, and knowingness is power. It is what we need to understand that. Excuse me. Yeah. So astrology is knowingness. We should be able to understand our body, our time, our physiology, and what our health issues are possibly. And that is what can really help us to get in better control of things. That is how I perceive it, and that's how I want people to understand that this is what we need to sort of empower ourselves with. That is going to be making our life easier in the long run. Excuse me.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I need to actually just for a while. I need to share the slide again. Actually, I messed up a little bit on certain something, I think. Oh, okay. Yeah, is my screen visible again?
Yeah.
Okay, so so as in medical astrology, if we are familiarizing ourselves with our own horoscope, it is an opportunity to understand our strengths and what are our weaknesses or what we should need to balance is the key thing that we can drive out of a medical astrology consultation or understanding. And that is what can help us transform our life's direction. We are here not to only suffer the diseases that are likely possible in our lives or based on the chart combinations that we have in our horoscope, but it's basically to outgrow or evolve in a way to be a more informed person in terms of how to balance those planetary energies in one's life and how to sort of make the most of the situation that is there around us in terms of our capabilities, in our strength or our weaknesses, so as to have a very meaningful and purposeful life. So that we should be rather doing more important or purposeful things in life rather than just suffering the diseases that we are probably destined to in a concept of what is shown from our astrological chart. That's what I mean to say. Okay, so now that brings us to now the topic of sleep. Now, as I said in the beginning, sleep is not it's not a health situation. It's not a disease. But why we are now talking about this topic and why is there a need to even discuss about sleep? The fact is that in today's world's population, almost about 40% of the people are somewhere or the other struggling with good quality sleep. Now, this is really a big concern. It's an alarming percentage of population, and it's also disheartening to see that even young children are struggling with sleep issues. And I also extensively work with children, and sometimes I'm astonished by how an 8-year-old child is saying that he has migraines and he has sleeplessness and he can't really focus. And they report to the school late because they could not sleep and they could not have a good healthy sleep. And that's what is the real situation in the world today. And that's from there we can see now what we are heading to, what our future is. So sleep is a very, very vital aspect of our lives, and it is very essential for maintaining our physical, emotional, and mental wellness and mental well-being. So it is um, uh, we can you can keep your questions for the end, and we can definitely address the questions, or you can put them in the chat box, and we will take them one by one. Okay. Now, again, as I said, now understanding the astrological factors in our chart, we can see that okay, how lucky or how what I can say, how blessed we are in terms of getting a good quality sleep, or um, how we can sort of overlook the importance of not maintaining a good discipline and yet be able to enjoy a good sleep, which unfortunately not many of us are. And that is all the reason why we are having the sleep issues in the present world. And that eventually also impacts our overall health and overall life, as A good quality sleep is the governing thing for a successful day the next morning. So that's the importance of sleep. And needless to mention that this is the nature's repair mechanism. So when we sleep, it is not just that we are our body, every organ down to every cell gets an opportunity to repair and rejuvenate, or the whole uh, system can get to a repair mode only when we sleep properly. And the lack of sleep, body does not get the opportunity to repair itself. So that is where the whole issues of the health follow up. Okay, now when we talk about sleep, the key determinants in a chart that we should address, or we should not get our sight off, are the number one, I would say, is moon. Now, moon is a planet in the Vedic astrology that govern our emotions, our subconscious mind. And needless to elaborate that if we are able to sleep properly, somewhere it is very much based on our emotional state of health. If we are emotionally not balanced, if we are not in a good frame of emotion, immediately our sleep would be impacted. So moon determines, or the plight of moon, or the dignity of the moon in our chart governs to a very great extent about the quality of sleep that the person will be able to enjoy. A weak or afflicted moon can lead to instability, anxiety, and sleepless nights. So also, sleep is generically seen from the 12th house in the Vedic astrology horoscope, and the planetary influences on the 12th house, the zodiac signs present in the 12th house with the planets that are present there, or planets that are aspecting the 12th house, they have a great impact on the overall sleep, what the individual may be able to enjoy. So whether he is a person who is lucky to sort of, just hit the head on the pillow and able to get off to a deep sleep, which not many of us are, or he will be a person who needs to be very disciplined and religious in terms of maintaining a good quality daily routine and food habits, then only can he be able to schedule his sleep properly. That is something that can be seen from the 12th house. Also, well, as I said, it is important to see the chart in totality and not conclude just based on these few key determinants that I mentioned here. But they are definitely of great importance when we talk about um studying or analyzing the sleep issue in a horoscope. However, we should be actually seeing the complete chart, because there are other planets and other houses also that can have a very determining or important say in the overall sleep quality of the individual.
थोड़ा दया हो रहा है क्या? दया
Okay. And also the native's body constitution, as I briefly mentioned about earlier, the Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. Now, predominantly Vata persons are, they always have an issue or struggle with the sleep, because they have a lot of pains and aches in the body, and also lots of thoughts in their mind when they go, when they have, especially at the time of sleep. So, Vata personalities, they do have issues with the sleep. And again, the body constitution can also be seen from the native's chart. So, knowing that what is our body type, that can be a great piece of information for the individual to know how they should address the sleep issue. Now, certain things that we should also keep in mind about the sleep quality based on general zodiac signs of the individuals. And I'm sure many of you will be able to relate to this quite well, that Aries, now the Aries ascendants, they are quite restless in term, and they always are occupied with the anticipation of their next move, of their next achievement, because Aries personalities are quite ambitious, you know. So they may be also at the time of sleep having thoughts about these issues, and that's impacting overall sleep quality of them. So the Aries personalities should be taking care of this aspect to be able to get better sleep. While ascendants are more stressed about their family, and they're more concerned about family issues and financials, securities, and issues related to that. And that is what is concerning them too much, so that prevents them from having a good quality sleep. Gemini, they have a very active brain, and they have very strong and restless intellect. You know, they are loaded with ideas, and they have all the time brooding on some or the other thing, especially at the time of sleep, that can really hamper their sleep quality now. And Cancerians are the persons who are always pondering over the past, especially the unpleasant relationships or events or situations that happened in their family or with their loved ones, and that is what prevents them from getting a good sleep. Leos also, they have again very ambitious people, and they also have a tendency to sort of analyze themselves over the past, and they are evaluating their own selves in terms of their successes and failures and whatnot. So that uh, makes them suffer from poor sleep quality. Virgo, they have also a never-ending to-do list. They always have thoughts about this is done, this is not done, that I have to do, this is not complete. So these kind of things, and this is based on like my own research and interaction with my patients that I found, and I thought of sharing this
Thing to do.
uh, information
My
with you. Uh, Based on which I think if you know your ascendant sign, you will be able to relate and say what I'm talking about. Okay. Next, we talk about Librians. Now, Librians, they're always agonized by decisions. They are like people's pleasers. They're always having the thoughts about pros and cons of situations or reactions, and the way of their response. That's always keeping them brooding on and thinking too hard on these issues, and that eventually impacts their sleep. Scorpions, they are again also haunted by the past traumas or cheatings or betrayals that happened in their life, and that they are not able to live in the present. So that is what is keeping them away from peace and relaxation, especially during their sleep. Sagittarius is they're always also consumed with the fear of missing out things on life, and they want to hit on every opportunity, and they're all full of so fiery energy that they want to be the best on everything, and they are not at a peaceful mode in even when they want to sleep. That is eventually affecting their sleep quality. Capricorns, they worry about their long-term goals. They're all like workaholics, and they are definitely always having some long-term goals, and thoughts about those are always keeping them not getting a good sleep ultimately. And Aquarius, they are nostalgic about the bygones and the things of the past, and then that's what is preventing them from a good quality sleep. Pisces, they also have a very imaginative, they live in the fantasy world and can't um, switch off their thoughts on the creative ideas and things like that. And that is eventually impacting their own sleep. I think many of you will be able to relate what your sleep issues are based on these ascendants. Now, I wanted to share here with you some chart of few famous personalities. Marilyn Monroe, I see the chart here. I got this chart based on the information from the internet. I mean, this is basically based to my knowledge that I could find the data of their individuals' um, time or date of birth, and based on that, this is the chart that I have, and I wanted to basically just for an academic purpose, just for our study and discussion and understanding of how to read a chart and what key issues or what key areas to address while we want to study the chart. I wanted to discuss on about it, and that's why I picked this chart. Now, she has confirmed issues with sleep, as in on also, I mean, this is on the public platform that she's been having issues with her sleep. And I thought that this could be a good example to discuss on. Now, you see here, moon. The moon is present in, okay, let's start with the ascendant first. The first house itself has the sign number 4 here, which is a Cancerian. Now, in our discussion just a while ago, I mentioned about Cancerians. They live in too much in the past, and they have always the memories about the unpleasant or sad experiences in their mind and with the relationships and all these things. And that is what is going to impact their overall quality of sleep. And now the moon here is present in the 7th house. Now, in the Vedic astrology, 7th house is also called the Marak house. It is the house which can pose a lot of challenges. It is not a very comfortable position for any planet to be in that house. And that's where moon is placed. So, and in Vedic astrology, moon being placed alone is not considered really good, and being crowded by or aspected by too many planets is also not good. So that is how delicate our emotional well-being is. If we are alone, we are stressed, we are feeling lonely, we are having issues with our own, and we have no control of the thoughts and memories that keep running on our head. So it is always recommended to have a good company. And unfortunately, we are also not having the liberty to always have good company of people around. So we have to settle with some energies of opposite personalities with us. And eventually what happens is that there can be situations of rifts and clashes and whatnot. And similarly, if moon is present alone in a native's chart, is the reason for him to feel lonely or isolated. And if he's having some other planets along, then he has to learn to balance his or her energy with the other beings around. So that is what is the learning that has to be taken in case of a moon. And now moon here is present in the sign of Capricorn. And Capricorn is governed by Saturn. The lord of Capricorn sign is Saturn. Now, I'm not sure if you are familiar with all this, but okay, I just wanted to take this as an example just to help you understand how to read a chart and what to infer from the chart of a personality in terms of certain health issues. And obviously, when we go over the course, we will go in details about how each of the terms and what I'm talking about. We will learn in details about that. But it's basically to first get some overview of how to read a chart. So Capricorn, the Lord is Saturn, and now Saturn is placed in the sign of Libra in the 4th house. It is not Saturn is retrograde. Again, I'm using a lot of difficult terms here or new terms here, but just uh, live with it. But before the fact that basically this when a planet is retro, it's not a very comfortable position, and plus it's also in this case it is present in the sign of Libra, which is the sign of debilitation for Saturn. It is again not a comfortable position for the Saturn. So the lord of the moon, the lord of the sign in which the moon is sitting itself is also not in a comfortable position. So it's like a double hit, you know. So in fact, whenever we see a chart, we have to see for more than one or more than two reasons that are going to support certain issues or scenarios. We can't just infer based on one or two aspects because that is, I think, present in everyone's chart. But if it is only that it is loaded with certain uh, issues or indicators that show or indicate in the same direction, should we be able to conclude or infer that, okay, this is a good candidate for this certain problem. That is basically how we should read the chart, and not just at a glance, just by superficially looking into one or two aspects that can that can confirm the health issue. And another aspect is about moon not having the benefic aspect. Benefic, now here, benefics are the planets which are favorable. Okay. Basically, the planets like Venus, Mercury are considered to be benefics. Moon itself is also considered to be benefic, but here there is no benefic planet looking at moon. Uh, Again, this is something that I could only explain in our formal classes, that how to read the aspects in this. But as I said, we are just listing out on the issues that are going against this easy or good quality sleep in the case of Marilyn's chart.
Okay, good.
And
So,
next,
Dr. Om, we can
yeah.
conclude the session now because it's already now 9:05.
Okay.
Yeah, and 1 hour over. So let's close the PowerPoint. Then we can explain them, and they have some questions are there. We can take.
Oh, okay, all right.
They have questions.
Okay, I will stop sharing now.
Yeah. Stop sharing there. Okay, good. So, gallery. Good. So there's a lot of information is there, what we are discussing here. And Kalyani having question is there also. We will take the questions on the answers like that session. And its idea is that because the insomnia, even though we have taken the topic like that, it's a long, lengthy lecture. It's in 20 hours we can talk about insomnia, how the insomnia affect and the various levels and the conditions, doshic personalities and everything like that. It's every disease we can go through that process. When we are going to the master level program, where you will have a more handling with the diseases and everything, because you need to have understanding about the anatomy, physiology, pathology and everything, what is going on like that. So don't worry about that disease conditions and everything now. So first try to understand the basic level of beginners level program, what we are going to teach you. 8 sessions. In 8 sessions, what we are going to teach you, 8 sessions, each one is 2 hours classes. So there you will have the syllabus is already posted there on the website and everything. And if you go and look into the link and everything in the beginners level program, and 2 hour sessions, people who are not able to come live sessions like that, while the class is happening there, that time you cannot come. We will send you the recording to you, and you go through the questions and everything, things and our material, and 2 hour session. Then you can send it to us. Any questions you have, we will send you an email address of Dr. Om and myself, and we will be there. That way you can send any precise questions you have, then will be answered to you. Certain questions can be answered in the next sessions like that. Whatever the questions are there, we will be taking out the questions like that. Interactive sessions will be there. And also, after completion of the 8 sessions, we are giving a small gap. During that time, all the students will participate and they understand the questions and answer session will be there. It's like a virtual program, as you are far away from each and every person. Then annually we are planning to do conferences, not only in Bangkok, in Thailand, we will do it in America also. Dr. Om will come here and we'll have an interactive sessions with in-person sessions will be there also like that. As we are growing like that, this is the the knowledge of astrology, Vedic astrology is the vast, like a ocean. You cannot learn this level like that. That is the reason we are bifurcating like that. The medical knowledge like that, like a medical course. You cannot study whole entire physiology, whole body, cardiology, gynecology, obstetrics, and pediatrics, and everything. So many subjects are there which you cannot study in 15 hours of a course like that. The medical doctor goes to the program for 12 years of medical school. It's not an easy job to go through that process. Let's take a question from the Kalyani. Kalyani, you have a question.
Yes. My question is, there are two questions. One is, that it's interesting that you brought up the chart for Marilyn Monroe. Now, Marilyn Monroe, the latest information that's available, that when the certain files were released, is that she was actually murdered. So, is that something that you would reflect in the chart? That's my question number one. Shall I go with my question two?
Sorry, say again.
Question number one is that what she's asking that recently the recent reports are showing that she was murdered. Okay, not like a suicidal or something has happened. She was murdered. So here two things can happen together, Dr. Kalyani. So murdering here is a mystery. Again, the detectives has to find out like that. There are so many predictions can happen like that. There is a thing, a murder in a form of we can take it such a way that somebody is poisoning her is a murder.
Yeah,
by giving
actually,
of some drugs and something like that.
yes.
Excessive dosage of something.
I mean, even that debate is even open on Michael Jackson's case for that matter. You see,
Yeah.
And this is basically again the exposure of certain overdoses of chemicals that she was like administered on for a long run. She was basically on sedatives. And this is what is the side effects that it can bring to. Sadly, that it is ending up to the life of an individual, and that is what now we are discussing about the murder or such scenarios. But I think our focus here is basically to understand how we should be able to identify that, yes, we have to be careful on our sleep because we're not that lucky that we can be just not following any discipline and we can still be able to enjoy a good quality sleep.
Yeah.
That is what my whole intent was. But again, whether the person individual uh, would meet up and a mysterious end like that, or could be situations of suspicion around the death of the individual, is also some possibilities that can be read from the Vedic chart. This is entirely a different study and debate, basically.
Yeah, there is a lot of study, the PhD level study, we can do it like that, a PhD level.
Yeah,
So that's the thing
yeah.
is very important here. It's not like because it gives a flashlight of the information, overall information like that. And
Yeah.
it's not like when you
Basically,
wanted to go in
the
detail,
conditions of death. Hmm.
we have to go in
Sorry.
detailed way. What we have to do, we have to take a case study, and the experts of the Vedic astrologers together, they are meeting together. What is the malefic and benefic conditions? What are the things are there? How the things are there? What are the circumstances? Time when she passed away, and what is the things, and all the things has to be taken into the consideration. The location also very important. Where she is in Los
Very, very,
Angeles, where
very
she is
important.
there. All the factors has to be taken into the consideration. Then we can come up with a clear picture, like a detective way. We can look into that.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Question.
it's a
Next question.
post-mortem
Yeah. Next
post-mortem
question.
and
Yeah.
it will be a good case study to investigate in, for someone to further check into
Okay. Good.
the
So next
cause of
question.
death and these things. Yeah.
Kalyani, next question, because we have to take.
Yeah. So does the chart tell you about whether this person is, Vata, Pitta, Kapha, or combination? Is that something that comes up?
Yes, yes,
Yes,
certainly.
of course.
Because the
It
thing is
does.
that because every planet having doshik imbalance, doshik conditions are there, and when they are affected that time, that is the reason we can tell that which dosha is predominant. Because that is the reason Vedic astrology is combined with the Ayurveda and astrology together. We are not talking about the Western astrology. Here is combined together, Vedic astrology. We are talking about Vedic astrology. And for example, sun. Sun is the Pitta Karaka. Moon is Kapha Karaka. In the particular time of period, a lot of people they think about that. Okay, menopause is causing for my weight gain. All menopause women are gaining weight. No, not necessary. There are people are not gaining weight because there are some people, women who are having a kapha dominance is there. They tend to gain weight. They blame, oh, because of my menopause, because my menopause condition like that. It is all women are not suffering. The disease itself is the menopause. Menopause should affect all the women. Why it is not affecting all the women are not getting gaining weight? Because there is a planetary influence is there, particularly kapha dominance is there. That is other than the kapha tendency, people they tend to eat more chocolate, ice creams, and everything. Then they blame that okay, hormones are affecting. I am eating more food. Because again, kapha imbalance is there. That's the reason we look into that. So we will go through that process and everything.
Thank you.
As we are
Thank you.
going more, that is the reason we are strongly recommending that people who are a medical background, medical astrology, we are talking about that because we are going to talk about more medical aspects, not an individual like that. Okay, Dr. Shekhar, I wanted to look into my matrimony through this thing, or I am looking for my business. What type of business I have to do it? What type of profession I have to do it? That's completely entirely different. We are going to discuss about that. Why a person? Yesterday I saw a patient with a severe acne on the body. So then we are going to look into what the dosha is imbalance is there. It will also help me that whether the kapha imbalance is creating the problem, or vata imbalance is creating the problem, or pitta imbalance is creating the problem. Then I get on a different perspective of the thing, different angle we are getting. Then on the basis of that, even though a lot of people think about it, okay, it's a pitta related problem. Acne is a pitta related problem. That is not true. The kapha can create the problems also. Vata can create the problems also. That's the thing we are going to look into the more detailed way. And you have a question.
Dr. Shekhar, and
The
especially
related
you,
to the
Dr. Om.
medical astrology only. Related to the medical astrology, ask question because that will be
Okay. Well, I do have questions regarding like if I were to study medical astrology because I don't come from the background of naturopathic medicine, but I came from Siddhar medicine. I want to know like they are very much about biohacking, how to conquer death and overcome the limits of your body. Like how would like medical astrology help with this?
Good. So, Siddha medicine or Ayurvedic medicine, Unani medicine, Chinese medicine, Korean medicine, or Vietnamese medicine, any medicine is there. Medicine is medicine. The human body is the same. Human body is the same. What is the thing is that we are segmenting like that. There is no Chinese nose, Chinese hair, Chinese anatomy, Chinese physiology. It's not like that. We look into that more whole physiology into that way. Vata, Pitta, Kapha, five elements are there. Three doshas, Panchamahabhutas, Saptadhatus, and Srotas. All the things are there. We are going to talk about that, everything. Because everybody is yeah, like in a yoga. Now yoga is becoming Iyengar yoga, Ashtanga yoga, Vinyasa yoga, Hatha yoga, and Yin yoga, Yen yoga. So many yogas are there. Las Vegas yoga, New Jersey yoga, America yoga, Punjab yoga. What is the nonsense? This is the thing. Yoga is yoga. Yoga means unification of the mind and body. That's the only common sense. Then we are bifurcating this way like that. People who has to understand the concept like that. Here, what we are trying to do it here, we are creating some specific knowledge for you in a Vedic traditional knowledge, which is the Patanjali Yoga Sutras, what they have mentioned, the Parashara Yoga, the Shastras, what Parashara, the astrology and everything. We are taking that part. We are educating you more. It's not like that. Dr. Shekhar, teach me in 8 days. I have to learn everything. No, it's not possible. You have to go through the homework. You have to do homework and also resources you have to develop. You have to. We are not contradicting any astrology. Same thing is that we should not contradict any medical doctors, health professionals, any person. That the opinions are different from the every person's opinions are different. We take into the consideration like that. What we like it, we learn. That's the thing is a concept. So it's very important that here it's not a debating point here. What we try to do it here, try to understand the overall concept of the Vedic medical astrology, and first basics you have to understand. Without basics, without learning the alphabets, you wanted to read the Bible. You can't read. You need to learn what is malefic, benefic, and everything. What are the planets? 9 planets are there, and how their influences on the body, how the nakshatras are there. This is the thing, foundation course, basic level course. Without learning the basic courses, we will not take you to the next level. We will not. You are not eligible to go to the next level. That's the thing is very important. I think we have to stick to the basic level. And what you needed to do, we are already having enrolling of the students, and we have enrollment started. Is a soft enrollment started on the soft date of already given the June 10th, I think. June 10th, July 10th. July 10th, we have given the
July
date.
10th.
July 10th, we have given the date. That is not a fixed date, but still we are looking for the more participants to come. As many, because we don't want to waste our time. We are also busy. Dr. Om is busy and myself busy. We wanted to take a number of students more registered. Like Jermaine mentioned that she is going to register soon. So like that, we wanted to have all the people who are participating in these things only $300 only. We are charging only, not expensive, $300 for the basic level. We are not asking about joining for the entire master level program. We are not asking you. First join this one, basic level. If you don't like it, discontinue. But you will get a certificate. All the participants will get a certificates, and there is a homework is required, and we'll have a regular meetings are there. We'll have interactive sessions are there. We'll share with the contact people like that. Like Andy knows a lot of marketing and creating in a Facebook group like that among the group of people. Then he will not allow anybody to join like that. There is the restrictions are there. We'll create some harmony of the together people like that, and related to the medical astrology related things that we'll ask questions like that. That way Students, teachers are busy, we are also busy, and students, they wanted to have learn more and more, they are hungry for knowledge and everything. So then they can have interactive sessions are happening there. As you learn more and more, then sometimes what happens, some students are smarter than the other student. That means they can grasp the knowledge and they have basic knowledge and extra knowledge is there. That's the reason we help each other. So study buddy, study buddy is a very important. You connect with the study buddy and then connect with them and meet with them, talk to them on the phone personally, or you can do it WhatsApp calls, like that you can do it. Always constructive way to learn more. And what we are doing basic level, after that we are going to take you after completion of the course, then everybody having a project has to do it done. Some project work we are going to give, some project work, simple project work, not a very elaborate project work, simple project work we give. And that can be written project works, like that you can work on that. And Dr. Om and myself, we are always constantly discussing these points, how to encourage our students to give the knowledge. So, but at the same time, we don't want to give too much knowledge, then you will vomit. You cannot digest it. That's the thing is also important, that overwhelming, we don't want to overwhelm. Gradually you have to go through the process, like that, learn the process step by step and understand the concepts and everything. I wanted to share you before I close. I go to the share to the website. That website is here, and share. So if you see, look into that here, globalayurvedaconferences.com, medical astrology. Go to the study Ayurveda, there medical astrology. So you can look into medical astrology. This is a chart, a medical astrology online certification. And this photo was taken by Dr. Om in Bangkok. And he shared with us, Buddha is a very powerful golden Buddha. He gives knowledge for us. And now here is a link to click register to the astrology beginners level core program. And what is medical astrology and what is the things are identified. Prerequisites, no prerequisite required, nothing is there. You need to have the knowledge is there, that's the thing. So these are the beginners level, 8 webinars, total 16 hours we teach, 34 hours of assignments you have to do. Then you will get a certificate of 50 hours of certification. General price is $320. Now you have a discounted rate of $300. Just you go there, $300 you pay, then registration can be done. There is no installment payments, nothing, one payment, like that. You can pay by PayPal and everything, whatever the things are there. Next, don't think about second levels, intermediate level, when are you going to start? Don't think about that. First, basic level. First, let us start the basic level. Then you go to the advanced levels, master level, doctoral levels, and everything. Then this is the levels of programs and everything explained. Who can join? Not only you, your friends who may be interested. Let's inform to everybody. Hey, you signed up? Energy healers, Reiki masters, yoga teachers, and all the people can join. Ayurvedic lifestyle consultants, health counselors, practitioners, and everybody can join. Medical doctors, integrative medical doctors, and everybody can join. These are the videos we are posting on the website. We will upload it on time to time. This will be live, and this will be teaching faculty. Myself and Dr. Om will be there. We are also having frequently asked questions. These are the adjunct faculties. We are trying to bring the, as you are going the advanced level training program. Now we are not going to bring them because they have a high level knowledge is there. Then the people will think about that, oh my God, why you are bringing the students to us, because they cannot understand what we are talking. So we don't want to bring them. These are the people who are there. Dr. Suhas is California. Michael Mastro, he is expert in the Vedic astrology. Pandit Dinesh Chandra Sati, he is from Rishikesh, Himalayas. He has a profound knowledge. He dedicated whole life. 60 years he is practicing Vedic astrology. 60 years, not 1 year, 2 years. I know him personally. And priest, the Pandit Neil Sahil Parmeshwar, he is going to talk about more Vedic astrological parts and everything. Dr. Dhanada Kulkarni from Texas, she is going to talk about the medical astrology from the Ayurvedic perspective and a Vedic perspective, and also acupuncture, and so much knowledge is there she has. And Dr. Shivaram Prasad, he is a very good friend of mine. He is from India. And he is also going to, he has written a lot of books also, medical astrology books and everything. He will be there. So these are all my friends. We are going to invite them as we are going to add more and more, as we are getting more and more advanced levels of training program. Because we don't want to introduce them to you now. Just only we are putting these names and these things. This is the form is there. Complete form is there. You can fill up this form, name, address, and phone numbers referred by medical astrology. Just only click on this one. Only one thing. That's it. That's it, only one. Don't go further. And what are the subjects we are teaching? Introduction to Astrology, Webinar 1, the foundations of medical astrology, understanding the body through the zodiac signs and planets and their influence on health, health indicators in the birth chart, medical astrology as a diagnostic aid, case studies, practical applications, ethics and limitations of medical astrology. Tomorrow you don't want to give some, this is also having legal problems also comes. If for example you see something later, oh, you are going to suffer with cancer or you are suffering with cancer. You cannot tell like that. Okay, you have a guarantee that you are going to get cancer or you may die soon. You cannot tell like that. There is a possibility that you have to be careful about your health. That is the thing. A diplomatic way you have to talk about that. Same like a medical doctors will not talk about that such a way that because until we don't get the clear picture what we are trying to do it, and we will not take any medical medical things. Ayurveda people also they will say that okay, see my pulse, tell me whether I have cancer is there or not. No, I'm not oncologist here. I'm not oncologist. I'm not checking the blood. What we do, we see that there is imbalances of deep-seated imbalances are there, and that may causing some problems are there. I think that better to idea you have a thought process is there in your brain. You may have a cancer is there. Your family history of breast cancer or something is there. Better to have a check with the medical doctor, a oncologist. Let you check up. There's no harm. So it's very important that is a naturopathy doctor, or Ayurvedic doctor, acupuncturist, medical doctors, or a chiropractor, they cannot completely say that, okay, we are diagnosing the disease. It's giving some understanding for you to understand the philosophy and everything. That is the way we do it. Okay, so we will talk about all the different things, ethics and everything. We'll talk about that. We'll learn to all the people. I would like to request you, all of you, register. First, basic level. Try to level basic level. And if you still not confident like that, just only sign up for only one session. $40 for one session. First, basic level. And that's the thing is important. If you continue as a full continue for the 8 levels, only if you take one webinar, Dr. Shekhar, I want to have a certificate for one webinar. No, we don't give certificate for every person. We give the certificate for people who have completed their homework, assignments, and everything. Then only we'll give the certificate, and e-certificate we'll give it to you. You can print it and you can display it. And all the registered students who are completed the program, their names also will be posted on our website also. That way, who are completed basic level program like that. So we'll be having a lot of things like that. Please inform to your friends and make them to join, and we will continue. We will inform to you again next webinar, free webinar. Make sure that there are about 40 people registered for today, but we have only 12 participants came. The timing is different. Then we are sending to all the 40 people this today's recording to everybody. Beginners level relevant to everyone. Anybody can join. Anybody can join. There is no question. Anybody who is interested to study Vedic astrology, medical astrology, particularly medical astrology, they are welcome to join. So syllabus is there, outlines are there, and Dr. Om is already preparing all the material and everything ready for you. And we are discussing back and forth. We are discussing back and forth how much we can give the knowledge for them. So all the things are there, and not only in America, it's all taught in English. Okay, and there are some Sanskrit words are there, but the thing is a lot of knowledge and everything is taught in English. If the Sanskrit words are there, then we refer you some books and everything, and those books can refer it and buy it like that, those books, and you can study it. There are so many informations are there. And Vedic medical astrology, this is the thing, is Vedic medical astrology is good to learn, and all Ayurveda practitioners, yoga teachers, and integrative medical doctors, everybody can join. Everybody can join. They can uplift their knowledge and everything. It will be very good combination for them to additional knowledge in that. And we will have a continued education for this. Educational programs are there. You will be certified as a medical astrologer like that. Basic level, intermediate level, advanced level, and master level, doctor level. Like that, we will go through that process. In the doctoral level, you will be going more thorough. You have to write a dissertation work and all the defend yourself. A lot of things you have to do it. It's not like an easy job. You have maybe need to travel to India also sometimes like that with challenging you such a questions like that. The experts will be sitting there. That's the thing. Thank you one and all for joining. And I'm closing the session with the chanting of a Om. Let us do all together Om 3 times. That will be wonderful. Om. 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 Thank you. Thank you, one and all. And Dr. Om for joining with us. And Om chanting 3 times. It gives a reverence to our teacher and Guru. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you,
Thank you.
everyone, for your time. Thank
Thank
you.
you.